This episode is brought to you by the University of Unstuck. If you're listening to this podcast and you have not yet joined the University of Unstuck, right now is your perfect opportunity. We are introducing our $5 membership where you can get access to daily accountability text messages straight from Lee Jr. and also join our 100-plus member community of like-minded people who are taking positive control in life. Be a part of something that will inspire you from the inside out. Also, you can become your own greatest solution. Go to universityofunstuck.com today and sign up.
Say it like you mean it. Let's get started.
Let's get started.
Let's go get it.
Let's go get it.
Let's finish it.
Let's finish it.
This is how you become unstuck. Clap it up, baby.
All right. Welcome, everyone, to our first edition of the University of Unstuck podcast, Outside of the Fence. I am your host, Forever Goodwill, joined by Lee Jr.
Yeah.
and my man, Brandon Chapman, who is not with us today. He's out handling the holiday season accordingly, as we would expect him to do so, lacing us up with nice gifts for, his fam inside the house, but of course the fam outside of the house. Don't forget us, B.
Yeah,
we
know.
watching. You ain't here, you owe us. I like big gifts, B. So,
For sure.
man.
For sure.
Excited to be here with you all. We got a lot in store. This is the first of many to come, and we are glad that you joined us. And tell a friend, bring somebody back. We got a lot to talk about. We're gonna get into the topic. I'm gonna hold y'all under suspense for just a little bit, because we just gonna talk a little bit about what's been going on. Let us know, who we are. Yeah, of course, Lee Jr. over here, the man amongst men, and myself, Forever Goodwill. We are in the building, and how we got here is literally one step at a time. But what's up, man? What's been going on? How's life treating
Like I
you?
just told you, man, I'm like a kid in a candy store for real. I gotta say this, you crazy though, because like any idea that I have, like you just be like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
it's
Like,
always
I have
it.
no idea on how to do a podcast.
Yeah.
And you crazy for believing in me, for trusting me
Listen,
to do that.
it's go time, bruh. It's always go time. A lot of people spend their life thinking about things that they ain't never gonna get done.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that disease is super contagious. I call it, analysis paralysis.
Analysis. There
You
you go.
when you just think about it until you just are frozen in your thoughts and you don't make a move forward. So when you call me, like I like to surround myself with people who I could trust blindly, and it makes it a lot easier for me to say, all right, cool, let's do it.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
I know before you open your mouth, you think things through. You probably been thinking about a podcast a long time before you call me and said, well, I got this idea, let's do it.
Yeah, 100%.
So for me, I could trust the fact that it's been thoroughly vetted and thought through before so I don't have to hesitate to say yes.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
that means that you just as crazy as I am. You know what I'm saying? You just show it in a different way, man.
You already know.
And I don't even think it's crazy. I think it's only crazy because you look at the world around us and they teach us not to, really believe that our dreams are our purpose. They teach us to believe that our dreams are an escape from our reality. But all in all, man, this is what we're supposed to do.
100%.
You asked me before, Will, why you here? And I said, I ain't got no choice.
Yeah.
And you asked me that. And I think everything happens for a reason. So I'm super grateful for you to even, invite me out to allow me to be a part of it, man.
Man, it's yours, man. Like I'm happy because this is something that I don't even really have to have my hand on. Like it's yours. Like this is your baby right now. Because one thing for sure, you got the mouthpiece. You know what I'm saying? You can talk your way out of anything. Like I love your perspective on everything that you do and everything that you bring to the table. And one thing for sure is like you add value. Regardless of what it is, you're always looking to add value. So I'm good because I can take my hand off of this. This is your baby right here.
Mm-hmm.
And you are in control of this thing. I'm just a co-host. I'm just a helper to you, man. So I'm excited that you're taking full control of this University of Unstuck podcast, Our Side of the Fence, the very first edition, man. I'm excited, baby.
Listen, man.
Look,
it's not many things that I feel as excited as I do with this one. And at the time in which we're recording it, tis the season for everybody else of giving. We always in the season of giving, man.
100%.
So So to be able to, just lay it down for people to be able to revisit the thoughts and ideas and to get to our side of the fence and understand where we coming from and, to be able to take that and implement that in their life and be able to run it back. Because I know, a lot of people come out to the events, which we're super grateful for, but this is just an opportunity for them to be able to, take what they get from us.
Yeah.
Kind of double down on it, listen over and over again. Even if you missed something the first time, you had the ability to run it back. But also you had the ability to share it with other people who you feel like want the same thing out of life that you do. And that's why I'm just overwhelmingly excited about this. I've had this vision for a long time. So when you hit me with it, it was automatically
done deal.
Done.
Yeah.
Done. So you want to do a podcast.
Yeah, podcast. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I got to tell the people, exactly where the idea of, our side of the fence came from. I don't know if y'all remember, it was a show called Boy Meets World.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that show, Boy Meets World? And, every time the young guy in Boy Meets World, he was like the main character. He would go through something. He would go in his backyard, and there'd be like an old guy in the backyard, which was his neighbor.
Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson. Yeah. He'd look over the fence. And whenever he look over the fence, he see, the young boy going through something, and the young boy would tell him, he'd explain what happened, and the old man would add value to him. But what happened was, you would never, see his face, the old man's face. He would, cover up half of his face, and he wouldn't show you what's on the other side of that fence.
Right.
So, I thought about that idea, and was like, man, that could be the name of the podcast. This is literally what you said. It's showing people, our side of the fence and adding value to people's lives, whatever you're going through, we're going through the same thing and just totally letting our guards down and showing the transparency because like you said, a lot of people see us on these stages, a lot of people see us on Instagram and they think it's sweet, but it's not. We go through issues, we go through problems, we go through challenges, and we want to share those things on this podcast here. So I'm excited, that's how we got our side of the fence. That's how the name came about, man. So UOU, baby, our side of the fence.
All day. Listen, man, there's strength and vulnerability, and there's strength and honesty. And I think that a lot of times in our society, we lose that because of, a perception that we try to maintain. And the fact that we can edit so much of what we put out there, there aren't many candid moments that we have. And the purpose here that I think we've aligned and thought for is the fact that we're going to give you those candid moments. We aren't just the people who get up in front of you and give you this canned, prepared message. This is real life. Like 100%. We live this, and we go through the struggle of trying to live in a light that, it hasn't been widely preached or received in an authentic manner.
Yeah, for sure.
And when you swimming upstream and you going against the odds, especially when you value the perception and the people around you, it could get challenging. But
very much so.
The only way for us to deal with it is to let you know that when you dealing with it, we feel the same way, and this is a community of people who all are swimming upstream, going against the odds, in order to get to better. Yeah. And wherever better leads you, then get to better again. Yeah, so, that's just what it is, man. But
that's the way.
You excited?
Man, I'm lit, baby. Let's go, man. We got a topic. What we gonna do? What we gonna go with it, man?
So right now it's just the holiday season.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and the holidays run down on you, and we get busy during the holiday season, right?
Man,
now we in the spirit to give. Everybody. That's why I love it, because I don't seem crazy now when I'm talking about giving everybody.
Right. Blend in now.
Yeah, one month out of the year from Thanksgiving on, I'm normal. For 1 month, so 1/12 of the year I'm normal. And then we get to the end of the year, and everybody, you look back on all the things that you wanted to accomplish, and you go, man, all right. But this year, this gonna be the one, and you probably,
it's my year.
Yeah, it was your year last year too. Yeah. Remember that, and it was your year. The
year before that.
That one, and what about the one before?
That one too.
That one too. Yeah, that was. It's been your year for a while, But sure. What seems to happen is that your year ends up turning into your month. And then we end up reneging on the new year.
Wow. Wow.
And that's the topic. The topic this episode is reneging on the new year.
Man, that's heavy. That's heavy because, once people get to February, March, those 3 months those 2 months right there, February, March, things get a little challenging.
Oh, listen, we here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
It get cold.
Cold.
In February.
There you go.
There
you go. You don't really want to go to the gym as much because it's dry, icy outside. It's kind of icy.
It's a little easier to stay in your bed and say, "I just go tomorrow." Yeah.
Or renege on that Weight Watchers thing that you been doing. You mean you eating food? We got holidays, we got Christmas.
You don't want to carry the groceries from the car to the house, so you might as well just order some delivery and get the curry out.
You go.
So
the eating habits,
but just one time, just one time, 7 days in a row.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you'll be on it next week. You will get back to it, and then next year is gonna be your year.
Yeah, for sure.
Again,
for sure, you put it off.
You already know one fact that we can all attest to is that we are a product of our habits. And it seems like a lot of us up until this point have the habit of breaking our habits before we've formed them, and not allowing ourselves to develop into the person that we know we can be. And that's what this topic is about. Reneging on the New Year is just it's a gut check. It's a good look in the mirror at what we've done wrong and how we can affect those things in a positive light to make sure that this year is truly different, and that you can look back on this year and say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it again," but I'm gonna do it at the next level, because you can be so proud of what you accomplished. If you stick to it though. And a lot of times it's easy to fall off your path when you don't have structure, when you don't have guidelines, when you don't have framework, when you don't have a solid foundation. So it's amazing to have these goals and these dreams and things that you want to accomplish and attain, but it's super hard to do it when you don't have a direction. There's literally like the weird fact, 99% of ships that leave the dock with a destination make it to
the destination.
The destination.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
For sure.
And just on the opposite side of that spectrum, about 100% of ships, almost, we probably talking 99.9% of ships that leave the dock without a destination ever make it out of the dock.
Wow.
And that's why you start to see us reneging on the New Year. February, you ain't even made it out the dock. You ain't even been practicing the habits long enough to form a habit.
Yeah. So you saying having a map is one of the most important things. And I feel you on that, because that's been what's been heavy on the University of Unstuck. We have these people that's a part of the program, which are amazing. They do well, but then they fall off because they don't really have a bigger goal that's in mind.
Correct.
And that's why we created the 60-day Unstuck challenge, the 90-day Unstuck challenge. This was something that was created. So what we do at the end of the year is we challenge each other. Okay, these are the habits that we want to create for the next 90 days. So when January comes, the new year comes, we already in stride.
Right.
We already got the map. We already got the habit all the way down pat. Because we did it last year, 90 days in last year.
Right. So
when we come into January, we're gonna hit the ground running. And I think that's most important, to challenge yourself. Do a 30-day Unstuck challenge. Do a 60-day Unstuck challenge. Me, I do all three. I do 30-day, 60-day, 90 days. Repeat. Rinse and repeat. 30-day, 60-day, 90 days.
Do you do them, are they continuous? Do you do the 30 and then say, all right, now that I've done 30, I'm going to do 60, and then do 60, and then now that I've done 60, I'm going to do 90? Or do you do the 30, and then, all right, cool, I knocked out the 30, now I'm going to do the 60 separate completely of the 30, so meaning total between the 30 and the 60, you've done 90 days, and then you do the 90 after that.
Well, what I do is I challenge myself with something new for 30 days, and then I say, okay, I got this down pat for 30 days. I continue it for the next 60, but then I add something on to the next 60. So 30 days something, 60 days, something new, along with the 30-day challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Then 90 days, something new. That's 3 new things that I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm learning through that process, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I do it, but that may not work for other people. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you may have to take it, 10 days. You may
Mm-hmm.
take your time with it. Do it one day. Do it 1 hour, for 7 days.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Take baby steps with it. That's the most important thing. But the thing is just starting, like you said, like have something that you want to have in mind, or have that goal and say, okay, this is the goal that I want to reach for 7 days straight. I want to wake up every day and listen to something positive.
Okay.
For 7 days straight. And then when that's 7, okay, I did it for 7. Let me try 14.
Okay.
Let me try 21. Let me get it to 30. And when you get that 30 days, 60 days, okay, now it's becoming a habit.
So you telling me that I don't have to eat the whole pizza in one bite?
Nah. It's baby steps.
But they say eat the whole pizza.
Yeah,
I thought I had to eat the whole.
Yeah. Nah, you ain't that hungry. You ain't that.
I could
you gonna be full. You can slice it and dice
one bite at a time.
There you go. There
Oh,
you go. 100%.
Okay. Question for you. Do you think like where have you seen your most success? Like what's the root? Like is it more important to have a long-term goal and then to look at, here's these steps that I'm going to implement in order to hit this long-term goal? Or do you think you've been more effective at like taking the long-term goal, putting that long-term goal in place? Because I think we can agree that the long-term goal, the big goal, your why, is going to be huge and even motivating you to get started, right?
Absolutely.
But do you take that why, chop it all up, and then just literally focus on that one small first step and just master that first step? Not the whole framework, but just that very first step. Which one do you feel like is more?
It's important. It's exactly what you're saying. It's that first step. Because once you get that first step, then, okay, let's see how consistent can you be with that first step. The key is consistency to everything. Mm-hmm. That's it, man. I mean, you know this. Like you do this on a day-to-day basis just like I do.
Correct.
Like if you can do something on a consistent basis, even this podcast, we're going to do this for 12 months straight, consistent. After that, then we're going to see, okay, maybe we can do it 2 months. Or 2 times out of 1 month, 3 times out of 1 month. But we got to first master that first step, which is 1 time a month for the next 12 months. And that's the key to everything that we do. How we did it with the text messages, how the inspirational daily text messages. I said to myself, I want to, text message over 100 people.
Right.
Let me see if I can do it for a week straight.
Okay.
Did it for a week straight. Let me see if I can do, 14 days, 21 days. Then did it 30 days. Now we up to 2 years now. So the key to everything is just having consistency. Never quitting, never giving up. And then comes in those challenges.
Yeah.
Help me with the challenges. What do you do when them challenges hit?
Well, I'm gonna give you what I do with the challenges hit, right? But before I get that, I want to recognize the fact that, did y'all hear this man just tell you he texted over 100 people
go ahead.
for over 700 days?
Yeah, for sure.
Straight.
For sure.
And I just want to first and foremost tell you that, if nobody else tells you, and I'm sure they do, they appreciate you, and those texts mean a lot. Yeah, and the scary part about it is that, like, if I ever post something on Instagram, one thing I know is that the less likes that I get for something, the more people have been truly impacted. Yep. Like, it shook up some people a little 100%. Bit. So think about the fact that you got these people who giving you this feedback, but just think about the fact that there's some people who's silent, who waiting for them text messages, bro.
Real
so,
cool.
I'm going to tell you for them that I appreciate it, sure. and I mean, kudos and beyond that is due, and, whatever you get out, whatever you put out, you get back. So, man, sure. It's a lot coming to you, bro, because you moving them.
It's us. It's us. This for the brand. This is why we do what we do. This is our oxygen, man. Like, for real. Like, just like you said in the beginning, like, we're givers, and now this is our time of the season because we look like everybody else now, or everybody else looks like us. You know what I'm saying? Like this is how we breathe on a day-to-day basis. We gotta give, we gotta pour out because we pour into ourselves so much. We wake up every single morning. You called me the other day talking about, man, this is my radio. This is what I listen to. Straight knowledge, straight facts, straight growth. You know what I'm saying? That's how I listen to the radio, and to me, that's like iron sharpens iron. Because you were speaking my language when you said that. Like, man, I don't listen to the radio neither. I'm listening to audiobooks on my way to the grocery store.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm listening. My son 3 years old. He's listening to books with beyond SAT words on the way to school. I'm scared. I'm scared of what my son is gonna be when he because I know he's soaking it up right now. I'm so scared of what he going. I mean, not really scared, but just
baby genius, boy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But at the end of the day, I don't listen to the radio a couple days on the way to work by accident.
Yeah,
by
sure.
default, you know. And the reason why I switch back to that subject is because you asked me what do I do, right? When times get tough, like
and challenges kick in.
When you know. The alarm clock somehow didn't go off, and you got a meeting that you got to be to, and it ain't no way you gonna make it on time, and the car got a light on. It wasn't on when you got out of it yesterday, and the direct deposit ain't hit like it was supposed to hit, and your boss had a bad day, so they bring it to you. What you do? First and foremost, because I have a why. And I clearly define what my why is, and I have a long-term end goal.
Yeah.
I have a list that I've created of how hitting my end goal will impact me and the people around me who I care about most. And I have a list of emotions that I reflect on from when I initially set out to attain my goal. Like that excitement that I had when I first said, oh, I'm going to do this. Yeah. Oh, it's about to be lit.
Right.
Oh, because, man, when I do this, then I'm going to do such and such and such and such.
Yep.
People going to be able to understand it. People going to be able to see it from my perspective. People going to be able to take it and own it and make it into something of their own. And I reflect back on those emotions that I've tied to the actions that I'm taking, so that now I'm fired back up. Because when we in the grind, when you doing what I like to call water in the dirt, you plant the seed, you excited. Oh man, I'm gonna get this fruit. This about to be lit. The fruit gonna be delicious. I ain't ever going to the grocery store again.
100%.
Look at these suckers going to the grocery store. Me, I ain't going. I'm gonna plant the seed and I'm gonna get some fruit. But I wasn't thinking that I was gonna have to go out every morning at 6 and just pour water on the dirt for a while. And then once I finally do get something, it's not gonna be fruit. It's just gonna be a little sprout, and that ain't gonna have fruit neither. And I'm gonna still have to be out watering the dirt. I wasn't thinking about that when I set out to attain this goal. And we all go through it. Everything emulates Mother Nature in life. Everything emulates Mother Nature. There's a cycle that you have to go through. You know, you reap what you sow, but you also have to nurture your plant on the way to its, it reaching its peak. And end all be all, you have to look at what the emotion is and what the reward will be and how you'll feel when you get that reward, when it's hard, when it's tough, or when it's cold. And then on the other side of the fence, you got to think about how you going to feel if you quit. Like, how many times you seen somebody come and bring your idea to life and get the shine that you know you deserve because you put in that work and you had started it and you thought of it 5 years before they did, but you never followed through.
Yeah, for sure. Even
if nobody else has done it, but you going through the motions of life and you putting out effort towards goals that ain't yours, and now you still carrying the baggage of the goal that's unattained every single day. Like, how much does that weigh on you?
Heavy.
Like, you got to check yourself. You got to look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. You got to think about, you got to stop lying. Like, we will lie to ourselves and make things just try to make things that don't make sense make sense.
The gray area. Create the gray area.
I mean, you know what? It ain't that bad.
Right. Yeah, that part. That part.
It ain't that bad. So
I can catch up. I got.
You could. So
I can make up on the next time.
So let me understand. So if you tell me it ain't that bad, you are admitting that it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not the degree of bad that's unbearable. I could deal with bad. I could be broke. I ain't broke though. Like, come on, bro. You can deal with broke, but you don't want to be broke. I don't want to be no kind of broke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But what you said, you said something so key, and I got to jump in on it because you took having the map. We're talking about reneging, but you took having a map to a whole new level when you said writing down the actual feelings and emotions.
Yeah.
Like, I was with you until you said that, because I'm like, wow, you write down the feelings and the emotions of how something makes you feel and how it feels to not actually get whatever it is that you're trying to get. Like, you really write down those feelings. That's effective right there.
Yeah.
On a whole nother level.
Listen. We are the greatest creation on earth.
Mm-hmm.
Every high that you want to have is sponsored by you.
Mm-hmm.
Every low that you want to have is sponsored by you.
Mm-hmm.
You are built to be able to create these things. You just got to go back to the plug.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Go back to the plug.
Yeah.
Go revisit yourself. When you hype, like, nobody does anything for motivation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't even lie to yourself without motivation. You don't create a softener without motivation.
Yeah.
You create the softener because you don't want to feel the degree of pain that you know the truth is going to bring you.
Yeah.
So you create a softener, right?
Ooh.
And you begin to lie to yourself. And when you lie to yourself, you only punish your future self.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you're like, oh, today's self ain't got to deal with that. My tomorrow self going to deal with it, though.
Yeah, your decisions determine your destiny, for real. Like,
and then the worst part about it, like, okay, cool, it's bad enough that you punish your tomorrow self. Like, yeah, your tomorrow self ain't even woke up yet. You already made their bed.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, come on, bro. But the worst part about it is when you continue to lie to yourself, you begin to punish the people around you and place your responsibilities on them.
There you go. And that's how it affects the 5 closest people to you.
Yeah.
And when you said that part too, how it affects other people, like that was kind of gut punching as well, because when I consider the 5 closest people to me, it's like it's truly loved ones. It's truly when the first person I think of, is God.
Mm-hmm.
How God is looking at me, how God is judging me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Then the second thing I look at is, my immediate family, which is my daughter. I think about my daughter, like, if I quit, if I give up on this, like, she's watching me.
Correct.
Every step that I take, she's watching me. And for those of you who are listening, this is something that you need to apply to your everyday life, having a reason why you do what you do. Who are you doing it for? Think about the 5 closest people to you. And I know you can kind of vouch for that as well. Having a new son, like, he that sponge.
Listen, I done had sons my whole life. Like man, oh, that's my son over there. That's my man. Oh, that's my son. Like, people I done put under the wing.
Yeah.
And it has hit me. We had a conversation the other day. Somebody called me the other day, and I kept them close. But I didn't realize how many lessons they took from me. And I hadn't talked to a person in about 2 years, and they called me and we spoke, and he just uber grateful. He was like, bro, you told me so much. You told me this, you told me that, man. And remember you said this, and I'm applying this and I'm applying that. And I'm like, what?
Yeah,
I don't even remember. I didn't know you was listening. Like, I didn't know you was watching. And I don't remember teaching you the other half of the stuff you said I taught you.
Yeah. You ain't even know.
I ain't know.
Yeah.
It's always somebody watching, right? But then, my son? Oh, he told me a whole nother level of accountability.
Your son.
Oh, yeah, my real son?
Your son.
Yeah, Liam Carter?
Yeah.
He taught me a whole nother level of accountability, responsibility, and staying on your game.
Yeah, 100%.
Ain't no days off as a parent. As a father, there are no days off, especially raising a son. I don't have the privilege to raise a daughter. I don't know how that is, but then I look at that as saying, like, you got a challenge on your hands too, because my son is going to emulate everything that I do, and your daughter's going to emulate a lot of what you do, but she's also going to look for a lot of that.
Yeah,
and her guy, and men in general.
Yeah,
so it's like, what you got to show her, and I got to show my son. When my son falters, that's on me. That's on me. He's his own individual, but I gotta lay that foundation.
100%.
You know, and he's always watching. That's the one who's on the other side of the fence. He was born on the other side of the fence. Y'all just got here. You know, my son was born on the other side of the fence. He see me with the crust in my eye. You know what I'm saying? He see me when I don't feel like getting up.
Yeah.
You know, like he see me when I come home though, and I done did my thing.
Yeah.
And everybody eating.
Everybody
getting what they want. You know, my son, like, I love providing for the people around me and introducing them to a next level of living.
That's it.
You know, like that in itself is beyond. Like, that's one of those things where I am shameful about my mastery of the English language, because I still haven't found the exact adjectives to describe the feeling I get from providing for those people I love, those 5 closest people to me, for being able to be like, oh, Pops, you need that?
Yeah.
Don't worry, you good?
That part.
Oh, Pops, you want to talk on the phone for 3 hours? Your son got the answers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, nah, you know, like, to be able to give in it, because it's not always tangible. It's not always financial. Sometimes it's just from experience. And my father, you know, and my mother, they laid some groundwork for me to be able to just walk in any room and feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But I got to walk in the rooms that they never got to walk in from what they gave me. And now I owe it to give it back to them.
Right back.
Not only to give it to my father now, my mom's not here anymore, but to give it to my father right now, but also to be able to give it to my son. Because if I could give it to him at this age, when he get to my age,
come on, man.
And that's what it's about. Like, that's
the cycle. That's the breaking the bad cycles, breaking the challenges that the generational curses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm gonna tell you, I'm not. You know me. I'm uber positive, right? Like, I'm grateful for those curses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful for the curses, because when you get in the weight room, you got to be grateful for the weights.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, if there's no resistance, there's no strength.
Yeah,
you know, so I feel like those generational curses and the things they couldn't give me made me strong enough to go get the things they couldn't give me and get more than they could have imagined I ever would have gotten.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't ever want anybody to lift any weights for me, but the ones that they did already lift before I got there,
I'm grateful for.
Oh my God, I'm so grateful for. Like
100%.
Like, I'm so grateful for. And I mean, that's literally, it's everything comes full circle.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, again, every day is a new day. Every day is a new birth. Every day you're a new you, right? And when you start to decide, when you use a point, whether it's your birthday, whether it's a holiday, whether it's a fade-up point, whether it's the new year, this is your gift.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is your gift that has been granted to you to allow you to fulfill your destiny. Like, no matter how off course you've been, today is the day that you could get right.
Yeah, 100%.
And there is no right or wrong path. Everybody's an individual. We all got our own paths. We all got our own route. It ain't no perfect time. Like, the perfect time is right now.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's it.
And a lot of people, you know, I hear a lot of people, you know, speaking about, you know, it being too late. You know, older people, you know, feeling like, you know, it's too late. You know, I done lived my life. You know, I don't have to dream anymore. You know, I had my kids, I had my family. You know, they could dream for me, type of thing. And I get upset when I hear that, because, you know, like you said, like you were gifted with something. Like walk in it. Like, do something about whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. Like, what do you say to those people who are, you know, much older and they feel like, oh, I live my life, I don't have to dream anymore. You know, I don't have to, you know, chase after anything anymore. You know, I'm good. I'm content. You know, I'm content on where I am.
One of my favorite questions to ask is, have you ever heard of Warren Buffett?
Man, the guy that wear JCPenney suits.
Yeah, wear JCPenney
suits, driving
a
maybe a car that costs maybe $20,000 a year. Yeah, but he's a billionaire.
Yeah, one of the richest men in the world.
Gotcha.
Multiple times the richest person in the world. The reason why I reference him is because Warren Buffett wasn't even a millionaire until after he was 50 years old.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in.
Like, he wasn't he wasn't one of the richest men in the world until after he was 50. He wasn't even a millionaire until after he was 50. And he's lived a life to the point where he's been the richest man in the world.
Yeah, for sure.
Every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you have in your mind.
And it starts from what? Not reneging. That's what we talking about. No reneging, man. No reneging. You know, this is your year, man. For those who are listening, man, there's so many things out there that really has your name on it. And what we're doing today is we're just trying to provide some type of value, some type of push, some type of inspiration, motivation, whatever you want to call it, so you can get out there, you know, commit to 7 days, commit to a week, commit to a month, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Rinse and repeat, man. Start it up. Get it started. Go get it. Go finish it, man.
Think about those milestones, those small challenges they give you. You know, 1 day, 7 days, 2 weeks, a month. And not only just accomplish them, but reward yourself.
There you go. Yeah.
After you've accomplished them. Like, okay, cool. You get 1 day through. You want to stop drinking coffee. If that's what you want to do, all right, well, here's what you do. You don't drink coffee for the first 2 hours of the day, right? And then you take a 5-minute break. Go get some sunshine because you made it through the whole first 2 hours of the day where that's the clutch, too, where you go in and you go and get you some coffee. Yeah, you make it to the first 2, you ain't get no coffee, reward yourself. Take a 5-10-minute break. Go take a walk. Get some fresh air. Get some sunshine.
Yeah,
play your favorite game on your phone real quick. Give yourself a treat. Play one round of your favorite game.
Yeah,
I bet. I did it for 2 hours. Yeah. Now you get back into it.
And I like that because it's practical. Like, I'm all about giving practical information, something that you could do, like, right now, like, something that instantly, and that's good. The example that I can use is, when we were writing the book, the University of Unstuck book, every day I had to commit to waking up every day and writing 2 pages a day. 2 pages per day. It's just like that saying, when you want to build a house, you do it brick by brick. It's the same thing if there's listeners out there that want to, write a book, or write anything, just commit to 2 pages a day, maybe 1 page a day, and after you stay consistent with that 1 page, 2 pages per day, you'll have a whole book after 3 to 4 months, 6 months, so that's the practical information that I like to give our listeners, man, for sure, because, for one thing for sure, everybody's teaching something, but not everybody's teaching how.
Exactly.
How you can do and what you can do exactly at this moment. Everybody got, a lesson on what to do, but not how to do it. So that's the information I really want to, start putting out to the people. So I thank you for that, bro. For real, that's practical information right there.
Cool. Listen, I got one more for you, man. Since we going practical.
Go.
You asked me what I do when things get tough. And I can have, like, I haven't had a bad day probably in 12 plus years. Wow. And the reason why is because I've been able to kind of digest things a little bit differently, alter my perception, and be able to control my reality. There's a thing called the rule of 5 that I implement on a daily basis. Because you could be having a great day, and then somebody throw you that curveball.
Always.
You literally, it's lit. I'm about to do this. I'm going to bust this move. Yeah. They say they're going to meet me here. They're going to bring me the money. I'm going to use this money to go do that. And then they don't do what they say they're going to do.
Always. Oh, yeah. The record.
Yeah, literally everything crashes. Everything stops.
Yeah, for sure.
In that moment, right? And in that moment, in those tough moments, when whatever doesn't go as I expect it to, or when it doesn't go as planned or as I'd like it to go, I kick in the rule of 5, and I filter this reality that I'm dealing with through the rule of 5. The first thing I ask myself, well, is this going to matter 5 minutes from now?
Oh, that's good.
Right?
That's good. That's real perspective right there. Like,
right?
Is this gonna matter? That's hard to think about. Well, I don't know, bro.
Well, sorry,
like in the midst of it, I'm burning up, bro.
Let me edit it. Let me edit it. I apologize. I did that wrong. I was so excited to because I always get down to this.
Yeah.
But it actually, you really start and you say, is this gonna matter 5 years from now?
Okay. All right. I might be able to think about that.
Right?
All right.
Like, you look at whatever just happened, you ask yourself, is it going to matter? Is this going to matter 5 years from now? Probably on 95% of the things that you go through, if not a higher percentage, that you just worked up, heated, just ruined your whole day, is not going to matter 5 years from now.
Yeah, for sure.
Then you ask yourself, well, is it going to matter 5 months from now?
Okay.
And probably 94% of the things that you worked up about and heated and disturbed about and just can't get right and can't continue your day, they not going to matter 5 months from now.
Ooh, you talking to me, man. You talking to me.
You ask, you know what you ask next? Is it going to matter 5
minutes? Okay.
Five
okay.
weeks.
Okay, we're going to weeks.
You just take it step by step, 5 weeks. Is it going to matter for 5 weeks from now? Like, they just cut you off in traffic and gave you the finger.
Mm-hmm.
5 months. 5 years, 5 months, 5 weeks. That's not really going to matter.
So it's no need to carry the bag.
Yeah. 5 days. Is it going to matter? Did they cut you off in traffic and gave you the finger?
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
Yeah. Right.
5 hours?
Okay.
Nah.
We can go down to seconds to
5
minutes.
5 seconds. It's not going to. Most things that we get worked up about, when we put them through the filter of 5 years, 5 months.
Yeah. And you've mastered being able to think about that, because I'm thinking about it in the sense of, like, when we talk about relationships, dog. When your lady make you mad, bruh.
Yeah.
Man, that's immediately where I would need to implement the 5. What is it? 5?
The rule of 5.
Rule of 5. I would need to implement the rule of 5. But
what you got?
how did go ahead?
You just gotta admit that you a man and you always wrong.
Okay, there you go.
That's it. That's a whole different rule. Like, oh, I was wrong, I'm a man. You know, like that's
sure.
the rule you gotta admit to. You gotta, some things you have to admit to, some things you have to submit to.
Yeah, okay. You
know, like certain rules, like I give you a lot of rules. When it comes to that realm of life, a lot of them rules don't apply. Like, for you personally, you can use that 5-minute rule to calm down, and then you can logically make sense of this, whatever it is. But whatever you logically make sense of, keep it to yourself.
Okay, there you go.
And then go listen to her.
Go listen to There you go.
That's the advice I give you with that.
That's good, because that kind of rolls us into our next segment, you know, which is SOS, man. Tell the people about the SOS. What does that mean, right?
Solid or soft?
Ooh-wee. So, I got one for you, bro.
Solid or soft? We gonna talk, and this is a segment we're gonna do on all the podcasts, and you all have a opportunity to take a part in this.
Yeah, for sure.
But solid or soft? Like, you know, we gonna put out a personal experience or two, and we gonna get down to the nitty gritty, the details, and we're gonna talk about the ins and outs of it. And then we're going to talk about not only the scenario, but we're going to talk about the response.
Oh, man.
And when we talk about the response, we need to know, was response solid or was it soft?
Oh, man. I got one for you. I'm gonna start the very first podcast off with the very first solid or soft, man. I got one for you. You ready for this, man?
I'm all ears, bro.
All right, bro. All right. So talking about the relationship thing, man. All right. So you got the rule of 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got the 5-second rule.
You gotta stop somewhere.
I got the 5-second rule, dude. Like, for real. All right. So, all right. I'm the girl that I'm dating. Very beautiful young lady. Her name's Ashley. Ashley, what's up? I know you're probably listening.
What's up, Ash?
What's up, Ash? I love you, baby. All right. So we're dating, right? In the beginning of our relationship, she's a very attractive young lady.
Mm-hmm.
And when we go out, like, everybody's looking.
Mm-hmm.
And you know me, I'm the introvert guy. Like, I'm a motivational speaker, but I'm for real, my whole time I'm an introvert. Like, I don't really like the attention.
Mm-hmm.
So dating her, it was kind of new. Like, all this attention I was getting, and it was a challenge for me in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
As we gone on with the relationship, I kind of got used to it. But just recently, it started happening, like, again, like, real heavy. I don't know what it is. Like, I think it's whenever she get her hair done. When she freshly come from that salon, like, get the eyebrows arched, that's it. She put a little makeup, not really too much makeup, but some lip gloss or something. Like, it's a done deal. So we in the Wegmans. You know, this is our Sunday ritual. We hit the Wegmans. And, man, it's like everybody's looking at her. And I'm like, I love it, for real, because, like,
that's
a compliment.
Yeah.
But I got this 5-second rule with dudes, man. It, like, look at my girl for 5 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
and then like
Let it go.
let it go.
Like you got your
Like
mental picture.
when we get into the 8-second mark,
We getting disrespectful.
yeah, you get. That's how I feel. So
Yeah.
we were in the Wegmans, and it's funny because, we're walking around the corner, and I'm pushing the cart, and she's walking in front of me. So I'm actually seeing everybody that's looking at it because I see her in front of me. So she's walking in front of the cart a little bit, and this guy, he's literally with his girl.
Mm-hmm.
He comes around the corner, he looks at Ashley, he drops his mouth like, oh my God, like he just saw like an angel or something.
Mm-hmm.
He drops his mouth. He's looking for at least about 8 to 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling some type of way at this point. I'm like, all right, get your look in. All right, we
Mhm.
good. He's looking over 5 seconds, 8 to 10. His girl catches him looking at Ashley, punches him, really punches him in his chest. Like, boy, what you doing? Like, it was hilarious in the Wegmans, man. But every single time we go into this Wegmans, which is the Wegmans in Landover, which I kind of like we stopped going to that Wegmans. We actually go to the Bowie, the Crofton Wegmans now because the looks are at a minimum out there. But when we go into this Wegmans, in Landover, it's like everybody's looking. And for me, is it solid or soft? Because I feel some type of way when it's over 5 to 6 seconds. Like, what do y'all think? Is that solid or soft? Because like you said, I feel like, okay, it's a little bit disrespect after a certain amount of time. Like, what you feel? Like, what you call it, man?
Oh man, let me tell you.
Because I already know what people gonna say, man. They gonna say, "Oh, he insecure." Trust me, I'm so secure. Like, I'm good. Like, I love the way she look. I love the way I look. I'm totally confident. But I'm a man of dignity. I'm a man of respect.
I just want. Let's play devil's advocate.
Okay.
She come around the corner. She got that glow. She got the glow, bruh. You remember how she looked when you first saw her?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
The first time you seen her.
100%.
Okay, cool, right?
Yeah.
She got the glow. She come around the corner with the glow,
Okay.
right? You like me, right? You don't even like dudes.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you don't like, that ain't your cup of tea. Like, men, like, y'all, like, men respect, we love y'all, but we don't like y'all.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it ain't, it's all love,
but it ain't, we ain't cool.
Yeah,
we cool, but we ain't cool.
Yeah.
Like,
it gets to a point where you don't even see them.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't even hit your radar, right? Now, factor in the fact that there's a glow, and then factor in the fact that you don't even like men. Right?
Okay, I got you. I see where you're going with this.
When they come around the corner, when she come around the corner, and she's in front of you,
yeah, for sure,
you have a none chance of existing.
Yeah,
they not looking at your girl; they're looking at the girl.
So tell the people what you mean by that, man, because they might not catch it.
They're looking at the girl. And she is everything they've ever wanted in a woman.
Yeah.
And ain't no man gonna stand in their way. Rule number 17 when approaching a young lady that you really want to get to know is you do not ask if she has a boyfriend.
Hold on, you said 17.
Yeah. Rule number 17, you learn that, but as you start to go through the motions, and you start dating, you never that's the line that you never ask, right?
Right.
Hey, how you doing? What's your name? Oh, you got a boyfriend?
Mm-hmm.
Fail. If she got a boyfriend, it's her responsibility to tell you about her boyfriend.
To show that,
you don't volunteer and bring the boyfriend up or give her an out if she thinking maybe if she's on the fence. Now you gave her an easy out. If she's not on the fence, even if she do got a boyfriend, she might be getting ready to leave, but she's like, oh, nah, that ain't right. I got a boyfriend. You just lost your shot, right? So when he's just looking, time is a myth. He saw the girl.
Hey, it's funny that you say that because that's how they do. That's how they be, bro. I know you experienced this with your lady too.
For sure.
It's like they be gazing stuck. I literally cracked up laughing in the Wegmans when that man girlfriend hit him. I don't know if it was girlfriend or wife, but she punched him in the stomach so hard,
Listen.
like total disrespect. Like she felt what I was feeling. Like that's disrespect, dude. Like,
Listen.
like you got a girl. You looking at my girl.
Don't listen. Accept your blessings, bro.
I take it as that was a soft.
Yeah,
that was okay.
You gotta stop being soft, bruh. Accept your blessings, bruh, because it ain't about being insecure. It's about your perception of what's going on.
Yeah,
your perception is that he sees you.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't see him.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. All right. So what y'all think?
Being soft, bruh.
Are y'all with Will? Or what y'all think, man? Y'all gonna have to chime in. We gonna put it on the Instagram, man. Was it soft or solid, man?
And the question is, was it soft or solid that you felt some type of way that he broke your 5-second rule?
Yeah, he broke my 5-second rule.
Which I feel like is a general rule, like the most of us have.
It's unwritten.
It's a code. Like, bro, you can't stare at another man's girl, but if it's the girl.
Right. Okay.
Doesn't mean.
All right. So you gave it more perspective right there. You got me there.
It's a reason that's your girl.
Yeah.
and you know, a lot have come, a lot have tried, a lot have not made the mark.
For sure.
You know, and not to say anything about any other girl. Every woman I feel like is beautiful in their own way, but it's a reason why your girl is your girl. It's a reason why somebody who's as prideful as you are is going to have a certain level of woman, and you just got to understand that's a representation of you. Like, you are, if you want to know how you feel about yourself, look at the person you date.
Oh, that's 100%.
So
that's 100%.
That should just tell you,
that's it.
You wearing some big shoes.
Stop, because you gonna get the people on your side. No, I want them to chime in there and say, what do you think about the 5-second rule, man? Soft or solid, you know? And from there, we're just gonna roll into the Q&A, man. We got at least like 10 to 15 more minutes, so let's jump into some Q&A, man. The question I got is from one of the University of Unstuck members. Like, man, like waking up every single morning and text messaging people has been amazing, and the feedback that I get is incredible. But I do get a lot of questions in that morning, and some of the times, you know, I like to get the messages out real early, but sometimes I get caught up in the Q&A, the questions that people are asking in the morning. So this is one of the questions that I got a couple mornings ago, and I want to see if you can help out with this question, see if we can add some value. So this question is from Nadesi, and she says, I feel like I'm doing too much, yet not enough, which is confusing. I'm overwhelmed, yet I know that I have to go harder. Everything seems to be a priority, so I'm always behind on schedule. What am I doing wrong? So that's her question. And I guess I can kind of jump in there. You want me to go first?
Yeah, you can go first. I got something for you, but you can go first for sure.
So she's saying that she's basically saying that she's feeling overwhelmed, like she has a lot on her plate, and the best thing that I can give somebody that's challenging, that's having challenging moments with having, you know, too much on their plate is, you know, prioritizing. You know, that's the number one thing. But even before that, I want to say, if you're feeling overwhelmed, you may not be doing the right thing. You know, and I'm not too religious, but I got a close relationship with God, and I know that God's not going to put anything overwhelming on you. You know, so my take to that is, you know, if you're feeling overwhelmed with something that you're doing, that's not from God. You know, that may not be what you're meant to be doing. You may not be doing the things that are purposeful within your life. That could be a sign.
Right.
Overwhelmed feeling could be a red flag for you. So I would make adjustments in, you know, the things that I'm doing. You know, am I being overwhelmed because I'm making a lot of moves, but I'm not making the right moves?
Right.
You know, I'm not making moves that's going to progress me to the actual bigger goal, like we were talking about earlier. So my main thing is, you know, when you get to a point in your life when you're feeling overwhelmed, you know, the best thing that you can do is, okay, start prioritizing what matters the most. You know, what are the things that you need to do that matters the most, that's going to bring you closer to that end game goal. You know, and I told her, I gave her like a long rundown. Like, look, you need to make a list. Make a list of, write down exactly what you want. What is it that you're trying to accomplish? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to make real right now? Then under that, write down the five 5 to 10 closest people that's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then after that, write down 5 to 10 resources on, you know, how to contact those people, or how to get close to those people.
Mm-hmm.
How can I, you know, go to their conference? How can I go meet with that person? How can I get that person to mentor me?
Mm-hmm.
You know, just kind of map this thing out. It's kind of like what you were saying in the beginning about, you know, not reneging.
Right.
In order to not renege, you got to map this thing out and make sure you know exactly where you're going.
Correct.
You know, and you can jump in on that.
I mean, one thing for certain, two things for sure. All work ain't good work.
Yeah.
You know, being busy is not. It does not align with being productive. Just because you have a level of motion or engagement does not mean that energy that's being dispersed is being used in a productive manner. Yeah, so again, as you said, prioritizing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even to simplify prioritizing, you got to, like, if you're saying you feel like you have to do more, the question I ask is, where are you trying to go? Like, where do you feel like you're lacking? What are you trying to accomplish that you're not accomplishing that you need to do more in order to attain?
Right.
Now, once you figure out, okay, so I'm not moving in that direction enough or at the rate in which I need to, and you can then define not only what it is that you need, that you want to do, but what needs to be done in order to accomplish said goal.
Yeah, for sure.
Once you have that structured and clearly defined, then the next thing you do is you prioritize your list of things that have to be done in order to attain this goal, right?
Yeah.
But once you have that list, and I want you to chop the list at 3 things. Like, write the list out, but chop it at 3 things.
Mm-hmm.
And do not move on to any other task on that list. I don't care, rain, snow, sleet, hail. Mm-hmm. Do not move on to anything else on that list until you have accomplished those first 3 must-do priority things.
There you go. Yeah.
Because if you, like, doing a little bit of everything on the list,
that's where the overwhelming comes in.
Yeah, it leaves everything undone.
Yeah.
And it pushes everything off till tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you know you have these 3 things that have to be done, that are mandatory to be done, and you do not move on until they get done.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll get done.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll find a way. And the reason why I say choose 3 is because sometimes some things you'll have to have outside resources that you tap into in order to accomplish certain things. And with those outside resources and you having to tap into them, sometimes they don't move on your time.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you got 3, then you can, okay, well, this one's stalled because I'm waiting on the response from X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
I can move on to number 2. Okay, cool. I got as far as I can go on number 2. I can go on to number 3. And by the time you get through all of those things, then when you're in number 3, at least number 1 or 2, the responses should have come back for you to move on to the next step to be able to complete those 3 things. But do not move on until those 3 things are complete.
That's clutch.
That's it.
That's clutch. So, Nadesi, if you're listening, man, don't move on. That's the key right there. You know, do not move until you finish, you know, what you started. So that's a good take, man. I got one more question. This is from Savion Wilkerson. He's a part of University of Unstuck. He's a student at Good Counsel High School.
Hey.
Yeah, Good Counsel High School. So he's saying
Eagles, I think that is.
That's Falcons.
Falcons.
Close enough. All right, so he's talking. He's saying, I've been thinking about this for a while now. I'm starting. I'm trying to start a clothing line, but I don't want it to be merely a clothing line. It's going to be many things all in one. Just like you have UOU, you have your primary mission, and then sell your clothes on the side. But I'm just going to incorporate so much more all into one brand. Mm-hmm. I have a couple of problems though. One, my mom doesn't understand what I'm exactly trying to do. Mm-hmm. She thinks I'm crazy, and thinks I'm just trying to find an easy way out. But I want to be so much more than a football player. Second thing is I need a manufacturer. I figure you know someone because you have the UOU clothing line. Number 3, I need to get an LLC. Do you think I should do that first or wait until I start the business and start selling my inventory? Man, I love text messages like that coming from high school students. Mm-hmm. You know, because when I was in high school, I didn't have those types of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought football or nothing,
Mm-hmm.
basketball or nothing. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
thought sports or nothing. So to hear that from Savion, it just says a lot about, you know, the path that he's on. It says a lot about his character, because he has some things that he wants to accomplish and he knows what he wants to do already. But for Savion, what I would say is, as far as the LLC thing, don't worry about that yet. And the reason why I would say that is because a lot of people get caught up. Oh man, I gotta get an LLC, and that stops them from actually taking action and getting the work done.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, you know, don't worry about the LLC thing. You know, first figure out, is your business eligible for an LLC? Like figure out, you know, would it actually need an LLC?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because a lot of people hear these, you know, business words thrown around and feel like, oh, I need that. You know, I need this, I need that. You may not need an LLC. So I would say, you know, first put into action whatever the first goal is. You said a lot. I know you said I want to make a clothing line, but he wants it to be a little bit more. So we would kind of have to go into details about, you know, what more really means.
Mm-hmm.
But he kind of compared it to UOU, so I'm thinking he wants to kind of, you know, make some motivation or inspiration or something like that. So, you know, what would you say as far as a clothing line? Because I know that you've done billions of brands and fashion. Like, you the fashion guy. Like, what would you say to that?
I would say, first, I would say you got an audience, right? And obviously, two people whose opinion you valued have echoed the same thought. Just, Savion, just listen to what you included. You included that your mom doesn't understand, right? Exactly what it is you're talking about. I know she doesn't necessarily think you're crazy, but maybe you haven't clearly outlined and elaborated to her what exactly you want to do as your goal. Secondly, we don't have a clear grasp on it. We do know,
so that's
right?
facts.
So
that's probably what it is,
right? Remember, I was talking to you about potential and chaos. That's the chaos right there. The chaos is the potential of all of this greatness that you guys say beyond, and you can see the vision in your head, but until you put it into an order, it's like having a bunch of ingredients and not having a recipe.
Yeah, for sure.
We can't eat that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, you got to get your recipe together. You got to put your formula together. You got to put it in a package that we can clearly understand and we can clearly see, touch, and feel. Because what's in your head, I'm sure, is amazing. But until we can digest it, until it's something that we can see, touch, feel, and you can elaborate, verbalize to us and say, hey, here's exactly what my product is. Mm-hmm. I'll give you this for this aspect of it. You want to have want to have kind of a statement. The statement that you want to create and be able to fill in the blanks on is, when you introduce yourself to somebody, within 30 seconds, they should be able to understand who you are, what you have to offer, and why it's valuable. So we know who you are. Hey, I'm Savion. You know, you know you're a football player, but what else? We obviously at this point you're a clothing designer. Mm-hmm. You know, what you're bringing to the label. What kind of clothing is it? Is it a urban T-shirt line? Is it a full sportswear line? Is it a whatever it is? Tell me what that is, and then tell me why it's different, why it's valuable, what it's going to bring to the table, why
should I be interested?
And when you can do that, that eliminates the fog. Right. Because you can also go back and check yourself and say, does this align with, hi, I'm this person, here's what I'm bringing to the table, and here's why it's valuable. And if it doesn't align with that, then it's not something that you need to be implementing in this exact exercise.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. The next thing I would say is one thing at a time.
Yeah, 100%.
Like
100%. That's so clutch, because he's using UOU, but my perspective of UOU is we're not a clothing line. People think that we're actually a clothing line. Like, no, this is personal development. This is what we're doing right now. The clothing line is just extra. Like, and what you're saying, one thing at a time, is so critical. Because people look at this brand and they think, oh, we're doing so many different things, and they think that we're doing it all at one time. No, this happened from a wristband.
Right.
This literally happened from a wristband.
That's it.
And from that wristband, we took it to speaking at high schools, speaking at colleges.
Mm-hmm.
People saw us with an Unstuck t-shirt on. Okay, there goes the merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
You got to walk. And that's why my main thing is just take action first. And then everything else is, but you got to, like you said, take one thing at a time.
Mm-hmm.
One thing at a time with that first action step with whatever it is that you're trying to do, whether you're a clothing line, your personal development, you want to motivate people, I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Take that first step with that one thing. And like you were about to say, take it one step at a time. My bad for jumping in there, but I had to because this is something that we've done from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
Literally with a wristband, we started the University of Unstuck. It was called Wegmans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know there's some listeners out there that probably still got their Wegmans on.
Exactly.
And it started because, you know, we went to Miami and gave out some Wegmans, just like that. And from there, you know, the word got out, oh, man, they got Wegmans and it's something positive. And from there, they're like, okay, y'all got T-shirts? No, we don't got T-shirts, but we can.
Yeah.
You know?
Just like that.
The people are talking, so they're going to tell you exactly, you know, where to go next.
For
you
sure.
know? But you got to take that first step.
Right. He hit on the head. He took the words out of my mouth. The next thing I was going to say is make it real. Take an action.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't need an LLC to create your own shirt and wear it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, you're going to be your biggest marketing and advertisement. Before you go and sell it to somebody else, you got to buy it first.
Mm-hmm. You got to buy into it.
Yeah, you got to
100%.
buy it first. Meaning, like, get in the lab. Before you get a manufacturer, create one yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you got to pay premium dollar, you don't know overpriced. You done got a T-shirt that fit exactly like you want it to fit. You go to the mall if you doing screen print and pay the screen print man at the mall to put your image or put your words on the shirt at the place that you want to put it and the colors that you want to put on, and then you go put it on and you wear it and you see the feedback and make it real. Take some pictures in it and see what you got.
That's it. That's it. And that's going to create that feeling that you were talking about. Now you can identify with a feeling of how it feels to have a little bit of success, and that should be able to drive you to keep going and go beyond, you know, measurement, man. So that's dope, man. Savion, if you're listening, man, take it one step at a time, bro. Take it one step at a time. Decide. Choose whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, and just take it one step at a time. And I told bro, I got him on whatever he's trying to do, but like you said, he has to, you know, implement it so that it actually makes sense.
Correct.
You know, who you are, what you're trying to accomplish, why is it valuable?
Mm-hmm.
You know, why is it valuable? So that's it, man. That's for the Q&A, man. So what you got, bro?
Man, I'm gonna leave it where we started. You know, it's so tiring and it's so heavy to carry around unfinished projects. It's tough to wake up, and it's tough to start something new when you know that you didn't finish the last thing that you started.
Yeah, for sure.
And sometimes you got to start something and finish it and realize that ain't your thing in order to make room for what is your thing.
What is your thing, yeah.
But if you don't never finish that thing that's not your thing, then when it's time for you to do your thing, you ain't even going to start that. You're not going to be ready because you don't have the habits of finishing it, so you can be like, why should I even start?
Yeah.
And that's how people go through and let life pass them by.
Yeah, for sure.
So when we talking about reneging on a new year, we talking about reneging on a new you. And you owe yourself a new you. You can be a new you no matter what. Yeah. No matter what. Whether it's the new you who did more of nothing, like you've done even more nothing than you did last year. That's a new you. That's a whole different new you.
Call it out, man. Call it out.
Or you could be the new you who did a whole lot more than you did last year and who's grown tremendously. Yeah, but you're going to grow either way. It just depends on where you want to grow, which direction you want to grow in. And it's just as hard to do nothing as it is to do something.
Yeah, for sure. Talk that talk, right?
Yeah.
That's the closing remarks, man. University of Unstuck, this is what we got coming up. We got Wilson High School, first week of January. Y'all gonna miss that because this is going to actually air the end of January.
Yep.
So y'all will miss the Wilson High School.
Hey, now I'm gonna get this mascot right. You know, I'm a graduate.
Yeah,
I'm an alumni. So you
go.
know I can get with the Tigers. Yeah. Hey,
let's go.
Wilson.
Every time we hit up Wilson, man, we make an impact. They heavy, so they keep calling us back. They keep calling for Will. So we're gonna hit up Wilson High School first week of January. Then the end of January on the last Wednesday of the month, we'll be at Bowie State University
Hey,
for our third time. last time. No, I think this is our fourth.
Time.
Yeah, this is our fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you took care of the third one, man. They've been texting me about you. The video's been going crazy. A lot of people love the video. So we're headed back to Bowie State University with the dropout prevention plan that we're creating over there. And then the next conference, bruh. The next conference, man. We're looking at April, between March and April. We're looking at locations, and I came up with the name, and we're going to run with a cheat code.
Yeah.
The cheat code conference. The cheat code.
If y'all don't know, man, that's good. When you get the cheat code, man.
Ooh,
man,
cheat code
you
conference.
Literally, man, take these jewels, man. That cheat code is in that book, though.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. Let's circle back to that book, man.
Yeah.
The Unstuck book is the gospel. Like, that is the grail of the cheat code. You want the ins and outs. You want the down and dirty. You want the details.
Yeah.
You want. I mean, again, just get the book.
Just get the book.
Just
copy
get the book.
it. University of Unstuck.com, man. The book has been doing phenomenal, amazing, man. A lot of great feedback. I mean, every single week somebody texts me about chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5. So it's been going great, man. I appreciate all the supporters, man. Thank you guys, man. I was a kid who failed English class, and my English teacher told me I would never pass. So to have a book right now is just been incredible. So thank you guys for the feedback. Continue to purchase the book and give it to somebody. Purchase the book, give it to somebody, read it, give it to somebody, pass it on, because this knowledge is literally my life. Also, the people around me, the knowledge that, people like my mentor, Eric Thomas, E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, shout out E.T. He endorsed the book. People like my aunt, Tawana Williams, who's also a motivational speaker, who's led by Les Brown. My amazing mentors have poured into me, and I'm just pouring it right back out into this book. So continue to support the book, University of Unstuck. And every fourth Monday, man, this UOU Podcast, University of Unstuck, baby.
Oh, man, we're going to add a third layer next time. Brandon, man, we can't wait to have you in the room, man. You know. Man.
You probably out there shopping for the family.
Yeah.
Getting the shopping thing, man. This is the 22nd today, so this is airing a little early.
Mm-hmm.
But this is right before Christmas, so I know Brandon's out there shopping for the family. But I gotta leave y'all with this, man. Final remarks. This is Lee Love right here. Just want to show anybody some love who's seeking something new for the new year. This moment right now is building up your worth. Whatever you're doing right now is exactly what you're becoming. And I truly hope that you're becoming something amazing. And even if you're not, like, you have the power to change it. I just want to tell you guys that you have the power to change your circumstances. And this is something that I live by. My brother Will, he lives by the same thing. See what somebody is doing day by day, and you'll know exactly what he or she is becoming. And no gray areas with this, man. So I just want to encourage y'all to do something great, do something amazing for this new year. And y'all know how I do it. This is how I end everything, every event. Let's get started. Let's go get it. Let's finish it, y'all.
This episode is brought to you by the University of Unstuck. If you're listening to this podcast and you have not yet joined the University of Unstuck, right now is your perfect opportunity. We are introducing our $5 membership where you can get access to daily accountability text messages straight from Lee Jr. and also join our 100+ member community of like-minded people who are taking positive control in life. Be a part of something that will inspire you from the inside out. Also, you can become your own greatest solution. Go to universityofunstuck.com today and sign up.